Now, joining us to give us some more latest on this is business and economics editor Liam Halligan. Good evening to you, Liam. I've just read out an email there from one of my viewers, Stephen, saying he thinks that Rishi's doing a fantastic job. I have to say, there's lots of other people that disagree. Your thoughts?
Well, it's a big announcement from the Chancellor today in the Commons. As you say, a double whammy on living costs, not just that interest rate rise from the Bank of England, but also a major hike in energy bills. I'd have preferred him to just scrap VAT on energy bills. That's what we've been campaigning for here on GBNews, particularly my On the Money show. But he's gone for something much more complex, much more bitty, and I think, personally, something that's more intellectually incoherent. As you say, that rebate of £200 won't kick in until October. And in October, Ofgem, the energy regulator, is probably going to raise the energy price cap even more because wholesale gas prices don't seem to be going south anytime soon. And that council tax rebate, that's 150 quid, that only applies to bands A to D, so lower valued homes, though it does apply to most homes, as you rightly said, Michelle. I think all in all, it doesn't really add up to a package that's going to touch the sides. It's not really going to soften the blow when in April, just before the May local elections, most people's household fuel bills are going to go up very sharply.
Yeah, I find it, I just sometimes I would love to get into the head of Rishi and understand what the thought process is, Liam, because you mentioned VAT. If I was in charge, I mean, luckily for everyone I'm not, but if I was in charge, not only would I be getting rid of the VAT, I'd be doing a temporary pause on these green levies as well. And I would also be doing a temporary pause on the national insurance because, of course, let's not forget, that's due to rise as well in April. Your thoughts on that?
I think there's a lot in that, Dubes. Various planted questions from Tory backbenchers to the Chancellor during his common statement. Of course, Chancellor, it wouldn't be right to scrap VAT on energy bills. The Chancellor said he agrees we shouldn't scrap VAT on energy bills because that would apply to everybody. On the other hand, if you're in a low-income household, you're spending a much, much higher share of your disposable income on energy. So a VAT cut would benefit you disproportionately. Plus, it almost seems like the holy of holies, the untouchable, the 10, 15, perhaps even 20% of our energy bills that are direct subsidies to the renewable energy sector, often major landowners who are putting up wind farms and so on. It's really unusual, it strikes me, Michelle, to fund the move towards renewable energies, which in and of itself isn't a bad idea, from energy bills because the poor pay disproportionately so much more for their energy. It should be funded, in my view, I'm not the Chancellor, it should be funded, in my view, from general taxation. We need to admit that the transition to renewable energy is expensive, it will take time, we will need a lot of oil and gas in the meantime, we can't just cut off our hydrocarbons, and it will cost money. And for my money, that money should come from general taxation, not from chunky levies on people's fuel bills at a time when energy prices are spiking upward.